Okay, I don't know if I'm in as the creator or as a guest now. Well, testing, 1, 2, 3. I can tell this is going to take me a lot of time to figure this out. It's doing, I mean, it doesn't really explain. Like it went blank. I tried to play that video clip, and then all of a sudden I disappeared and I couldn't get back on. Um, it's just weird. But Sister John, we see you at least and hear you. Okay, so now, how do I shut the music off? This is just some. This is like preloaded music that they have. So, this is StreamYard music. There, I can do that. That was just what they had. So let's see. There's that. I don't know. There's that. I can go a little bit bigger screen, I guess. It always takes forever when I do something to see it on the iPad. There's like an 8-second delay. Okay, so I guess I'm back. Now I can't hear myself because, I mean, I can, but I don't want to get any feedback. If I turn the volume up, but I can hear myself now. Okay, test. Feedback. If I turn the volume up. Okay. No green screen. No, I haven't figured out how to do a green screen on StreamYard. Christina, can you do green screen on StreamYard? I tried to load an intro, my own intro, and apparently it's not the right file type. So that's kind of a hassle. So no intros, no outros. I mean, and then before, I had that one intro in, and then everything is just a hassle. Like I said, maybe if I keep experimenting and stuff, I'll get used to it. But compared to the Prism app, this is like so much harder. This is so much more difficult. Dang, now my ring light's all coming apart from me moving it around so much, and everything's kind of getting loosey-goosey for some reason. All right. Minimize, maximize. Yeah, this is just so foreign to me. This is so weird. No delay here. Well, I mean, it's a delay because you're seeing you're on the delay end of it, because I'm saying it live, but by the time it gets to my iPad, it's like 8 seconds later. I guess. I don't know, but Mud says there's a 15-second delay. Christina says no green screen unless you use OBS, and that you need a computer for I just put a background and make myself in a circle. See, now as the sun is going down, now we're getting more weird sunlight. I just moved over to this position over here just as an experiment to get away from the green screen. I don't, I mean, I don't want to just sit with a green screen behind me. But it says our comments come in like 10 seconds after we post them. Oh, really? Okay. Christina says, this is just to give you an option to have a panel. Yeah, so that's kind of like, I want to kind of learn it. So yeah, maybe I can use it sometimes. Yeah, if I had a panel or even just one guest or something, I guess I would do that. But I think I have a long way to go of trying to master this. Now there, see, this is through the StreamYard.com. This is through the like the desktop version. The app, I did download the app, but that says that that's only for me. Like if I was going to be a guest on someone else's show, I can use the app, and I can go in. Like I can go into your. So like I say, if I was going to go on your show, Christina, which hopefully we'll do that next week. I guess I would just use the app, and that seems like that might be a lot easier. And I just go in and I check in as a guest. But when we do that, that's going to be a whole new experience too, because I've never done it. So hopefully the app will work better than where I'm at right now on the PC version of it, or I guess you call it, or the computer version of it. Christina says, this is just to give you an yeah, okay, I read that already. Fancy says you have a mustache, and now I have it just going right, straight across my face. Hopefully the sun will move and get better, because there's not too many other places I can keep moving to. But I'll have to remember that depending on the time of day, it might not be a good idea to use the window as a backdrop. I'll have to use other backdrops or take my green screen down. Someday I'm gonna have a. I have it on my Amazon list, and I'm gonna, for hopefully not too long. There's like a what do you call it? Murphy bed, kind of cool thing. It's really cool, and it has where it'll just go against the wall, and then on one side it has all these really cool shelves and stuff. And then I'm kind of figuring during the day I'll have the bed up, folded up against the wall, and then I can just do the shows right there in front of the Murphy bed, and I can put the green screen up there, or not. And if I do StreamYard, I would just take it down, I guess. And I'm just looking around for any other places. But that's kind of annoying, that the way the sun's coming in there. Let's see. Christina says there's always a 20-second delay between StreamYards and YouTube. But it says the backlighting gives you a bit of a hero shot there. Christina says, yes, I have it all set up, and I even started to write down questions to ask you. Oh, wow. All righty. Big says no ring light. Well, I never used I use the ring light. Every day I use the ring light as a camera stand, but I don't turn the actual light on because the camera is right here. This is where the camera is. It's holding the phone. I'm using the camera and everything from the phone. And when I turn if I turn the ring light on, it just blinds me. And I need to see. I need to see what's going on the phone. That's why I don't use the ring light. Even if I set it, because you can set it to a real soft setting, and you can make it more of the sort of the bronze or the brownish color and all that. And even if I do that, it sort of like blinds me, or it's just irritating. So I don't really use the actual light, which I should. I mean, it's supposed to give you good lighting. But if I'm using it as the camera stand and I'm looking at that camera a lot, even though I go down here to the iPad to read the chat, usually, it's usually where I read the chat, but still, when I'm using the Prism app, I can look at the most current chat is there, and then the older chat is down here, unless I you know, scroll down. Hey, Jen at the base is here. Did I win? I don't know. Did you? I don't know what you were competing for. Christina says, yeah, you can hang a backdrop. Fancy says, I have a green screen, but I don't know how to use it. See, that's the thing about, I use the Prism app, and you can try, I recommend everyone trying I use the free version. They just started going to a pay version a few months ago. It used to be all free. And then a few months ago, they changed where, and it's really pretty cheap. I think for $8.99 or something, you get the paid version. But I haven't done it because really the only thing it adds, or that I know of, maybe it adds other things too, but the main thing is it lets you multi-stream. And if you without the paid version, you can only go to one. You can only go to like one stream. But I used to multi-stream to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And then they switched to the paid version, and so in order to do that, I'd have to pay the $8.99. And the reason I didn't do it, because $8.99 really isn't that bad, I guess. But Facebook always fucks up, and Twitch always seems to fuck up, or Twitch works better than Facebook, I think. But I only would get 2 or 3 people to watch over there anyhow. And Facebook, it just seemed like it never worked right. It was always just messed up. And then YouTube works pretty good. So now I just go to YouTube. I just stream to YouTube. If the other 2 worked better for me, I would probably use the paid version. But you can check out the Prism. I think the Prism app is pretty cool, and it's really easy at least for me. It's really easy to use, and I can use green screen on it. I use the green screen, and I can put whatever backgrounds I want. It's really super easy to use, and that's why I like it. The only thing about it is you can't do like guests. You can't have a guest come on. That's the only reason we even got into this conversation in the first place about using StreamYard or OBS or some other platform, was because, and to play clips. I really can't play clips. I can play clips on there. You can play clips, but I can't control the volume, and I can't start and stop it like you do, like you would want to do if you were commenting on the clip. But you can just play a clip. But then usually people ever say they can't hear it, or the audio is not good, and there's no way of controlling the audio. So that's a downfall with the Prism app. Playing clips really isn't viable, like during a live stream. And then what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh yeah, and you can't bring on a guest. If Prism app could fix that and still be easy, and even if it was you'd have to use the paid version of it, and it was still reasonable price, then I would for sure just use Prism. That's the only thing it's lacking, is really being able to play clips easily, and being able to play them and start and stop and make sure the volume is good, and bringing on a guest. If they could do that, that would be wonderful. But I guess there's a lot to it, and maybe once they did do that, then it would be just as hard to operate as StreamYard is, at least for me. Big Hook says we're all getting all his trade secrets learned. Okay, I'm kind of mid-thread. I don't know what I missed. Mud says your words matter more than your setup, brother. Keep ironing out stuff. It'll be fine. Thank you, Mud. But yeah, I'll probably continue. I'll continue with using the Prism app. But I'm glad that I'm learning this a little bit, and hopefully it will help me, so that I can go and guest on Christina's show and maybe other people's shows. So, I'll have this StreamYard, at least know it well enough so that I can go on a show. I also have to remember that if it's 2:43 in the afternoon, that this is not a good spot to be in. I mean, I could go. See, the thing is, I have my green screen like thumbtacked to my wall with push pins, So I just keep it up there. I don't like taking it off and on or you know. But I do have a stand for it where I used to just have it on the stand. But then that was always a hassle too because when I wasn't doing the show, I would move the stand. I would move it out of the way because I didn't want it just out, you know. And then every time I would do a show, I'd have to bring out the green screen again and try to get it all in the right spot, in the right place, and make sure all the corners were all the way out and everything. But now I just have a push pin to the wall with push pins, and so I never have to worry about if it's not covering, if the coverage isn't right. Um, so anyhow, I guess I'm just sort of rambling now. Christina says it's not that bad, $8.99. But if you can't have a panel, you're better off getting Zoom for $16.99. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about Zoom. And with Zoom, you can stream to YouTube also then, right? So maybe I should check out Zoom too. Maybe Zoom is easier. Maybe it's within my aptitude. Maybe. Um, Fancy says I have one of those mixers for effects too, but I can't figure it out either, or the microphone. Jolie says, hey, just got home from getting a COVID booster. Hey, look at you. It's going around out here, and everyone I know that has gotten it says the strain is brutal. No thanks, Vax. All right, Jolie, I'm glad you got boosted. You got the booster, and if you do get it, then hopefully it'll be mild. And I hope you don't get it. But all right, I'm glad you got a booster, Jolie. I'm glad. Christina says we don't mind if it's a green screen behind you. I guess I'm paranoid about having the green screen behind me because Hal Sparks is always saying like, don't wear a green shirt because then someone could put like a dick on your shirt or whatever, you know, like they could copy your video and then put anything on there and stuff. So I guess I guess I'm just paranoid about that maybe. I don't know. But I mean I could turn this chair chair and table right around and I would be right where I normally do the show. It would just be a green screen behind me. Jolie says I even got free popcorn because I was so good. What? No lollipop? Christina Sun Ghost Squad says, yeah, you can stream to YouTube and you can have a green screen there. I just don't know how to work the other stuff because I don't use it. I only go on as a guest with Zoom, so I don't know the workings. Well, I might check it out and just see. You know, you never know. I might like it better. You know, so yeah, I might check out the Zoom, but I'm gonna keep playing around with this, I guess. Like if I was on here, I guess, like if a guest were to come onto my show, let's say, and I'm using StreamYard, I guess they would. I would have to give them a link or something. I don't even know how to do that. Mud says I go out in crowds every now and then to work on my herd immunity times 3, x3. Big Hook says there must be YouTube tutorials out there as to how to work the software. That's true. YouTube has you can learn about anything on YouTube. You know, just about. Jolie says no shirt dicks. I'm dying. Well, you know, you've heard Hal say that, right? Like whenever someone wears a green screen and he's like, you open the door there, and then you know, and then he'll put like Jeffrey Epstein on your shirt or something. Hey, David Weiss from Denver's here says hello from Denver, Colorado. How's the experiment going? Well, it's going good as long as I don't touch any buttons. Since I came back on, I don't think I've touched anything. I'm kind of afraid to at this point. Kind of afraid to touch the buttons. Anyhow, maybe we'll just go to 3 and we'll just do an old Trucker John raid over to Hal Sparks. Christina and Sun Ghost Squad says, as a guest, that's really easy. You just click and you come in. Only thing you have to worry about is where you're sitting, I guess, because I do everything else. But I mean, like, if I was going to have someone come on my show, I don't know, like, how that works. Like, if I was doing it, if I'm using Stream, I can't do it on Prism, but if I was doing it on StreamYard, like, how do I have someone come in? Although, let's see, here's the 3 dots. There's menu, there's layout, private chat, destinations, and title. There's the settings button. Oh, wait. Here's something here. It's got, looks like little people. So there's, so let's say if I wanted someone to come on my show, there's a thing for invite guests. And then you push that, invite guests to the studio. Oh, okay, cool. So then send this link to your guest. You may also want to share our instructions for guests. You can have up to 10 people on screen at once. And so says you can have two. So there's the StreamYard like address. Guests can stream this to their own destinations. So I would copy. It says copy. So now I've copied it, and then I would send that. Is that where I would go to private chat? No. I think I did the wrong button there. Start a conversation, chat with anyone in the studio, but no one's in the studio. So I guess I copied the StreamYard thingy, address thingy, and let's just say I wanted someone to come in. I guess I would have to go I would have to send that somehow. How do I send that from this stream? Big Hook says, will you get a Google phone number like Liberal Dan? Maybe someday. I think that's way down the line. I'm just barely figuring this out, but maybe someday. And Big Hook could call. And every time he says, we could play a drinking game. Every time Big Hook says, we could play a drinking game, and we would all get blackout drunk by the end of the show. I'm just messing with you, Big Hook. I'm just messing with you. Did up the base says, Trucker John TJ, everything sounds and looks great except that terrible hat. All right. I would wear my Giants hat, but I used it for toilet paper. But that wasn't even a funny joke. But it was the best thing I could come up with at the moment. Suzanne Forsteppi's here. Suzanne says, it just says good morning. Is it morning where you're at? Where are you? In Japan? Just kidding. Just kidding. The one thing about not being against the wall, because usually I have the chair against the wall, is I find I'm just sort of swiveling a lot more. I mean, when I'm over there, I'm not swiveling at all, but I can swivel in my chair. Tim Farrell says, you better not cause the rapture with your blind trial and error keystrokes. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. Jolie says, I love this. Our chat is on the screen. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I noticed that too. I can't really read it. I have to read it. I have to use the iPad chat thing for me to see. But I can see the chat's there, but I can't read it. But I got those old eyes. Yeah, Jolie says I feel famous. Yeah, that's cool. So that's a different thing, a different look than the Prism app. Jenna Bezos turned on. So funny, I forgot to laugh. I know. I was probably the only one that laughed. Suzanne says, Jennifer the base. I'm always respectful and polite to everyone. Coffee and donuts for everyone. Thank you. I'm going to have a virtual cup of Suzanne's coffee. Terrible acting. Who drinks their coffee like this? Terrible, terrible act. Now I just threw it against the wall. Terrible acting by Trucker John. Let's see. Jim Vase says, Suzanne, first ever, you don't need to convince me. I always have your back. Suzanne Fancy says, I guess I'll make a pot of coffee. BRB. Big Hook says, so does the government shutdown affect you and your rental situation? No, I don't think so. It shouldn't. Joey says, are you mocking me, Sugar John? That's exactly how I drink my coffee. Oh, yeah? I had no idea. Suzanne says, I down my coffee. It's like beer. Speaking of beer, now I want a beer. I do have some beer in the fridge. The Dodger game's on tonight, and now I'm debating, because I didn't go to work last night. I stayed home and watched the game. And now I'm debating, should I go to work and just, I can catch the game on my phone, these devices. I think I can watch the game on my phone when I'm waiting in the taxi lines and stuff. Should I do that? Or should I just say, fuck it, I'm going to stay home and watch the Dodger game? Or, because I know tomorrow night the Rams are on Thursday night, I'm going to want to stay home and watch that. And I should make a choice. Either I watch the Dodger game tonight and not watch the Ram game tomorrow, or I don't watch the Dodger game so I can watch the Ram game. I have to make a choice. I have to make a choice. It's like Sophie's Choice. Anyhow, I'm just wondering now if I should play with these buttons. I still don't understand how to work. Everything I've got, I've just sort of done accidentally. But anyhow, there's the outro, the intro. I don't know how. Sometimes I have a background, sometimes I don't. I still very hesitant to use this. I guess if I use it, at least I'll just use it in the most basic way. Whenever I use it, it'll be just sort of basic. But I'm just looking at these things. There's a sort of a color palette thing. Oh yeah, that's how I got these different colors for the scrolling thing. See, I don't. I typed that in. Trying StreamYard for the first time. I did that like the first time. It was a few days ago or whatever. And but now I don't know how to retype it to say this. This is actually now the third time, I guess, if you want to count. Because I stopped the one earlier. Oh, now I'm afraid that's the color code. I don't know if that's where I type stuff. Brand color. See, I don't like stuff that's not explained. They don't explain stuff. Brand number one. Oh, now I did that. Now I changed the color. I went from a different brand, I guess. But I don't know how I typed it. Is this where I typed it? Maybe it is. Well, let's see what happens. Hang on to your butts. Takes forever. Yeah. Let's see what this does. Did it do anything? No, it didn't. It just changed the color. So I don't know I don't remember how I typed it in there. Christina says, no, there's the second button, should be the banners. That's where you would type. Second button. Where's the second button? How do I get back to yellow? I kind of like the yellow the best. But... Oh, there's that one. Here I go, round and round. Michael Bagandros is here. Michael, good to see you. Oh, no, it's almost 3 o'clock. Fancy's back. So we can see if Hal comes on. And when Hal comes on, we can jump over to Hal. See, I'm missing the game. I didn't watch any games today. I did my show, and then I just been messing around with it. I didn't even watch baseball today. Yesterday, I watched baseball all day yesterday. Taylor Swift. Oh, there's the thing about Goodall, Jane Goodall dying. That was sad, huh? 91. She was 91.
Made that announcement just hours ago. Goodall transformed our understanding of animals with her groundbreaking research on chimpanzees in Tanzania. That is where she first documented their use of tools back in the 1960s. Her discoveries redefined the relationship between humans and the animal.
Rest in peace, Jane. There's AOC. So here's Hal. He's not on yet.
Insofar as I know, the Ukrainian government is actually working right now.
He's not on yet. So can you? Does this have a thing where you can, where we can raid? There's no raid button, I guess, on here. Christina says, so there should be banners and then media, then where you just change the colors. So maybe it's the first button. I don't know, Christina, I'm confused. I'm so confused. I'm just so confused. Do brand color, but then it's like, oh, there it is. Oh, there's like a little, oh, you can kind of go like that. Ooh, look at that, sort of a lime green, day glow green. Ooh, orange, that's my theme. That's my theme color right there. Look at there. Oh shit, what did I do? Okay, how do I get out of the screen now? Okay, I'm done. So there's that. I like that. Those are my colors right there. But I still didn't retype it. Big. So the big question is, when will the nursing homes start stuff shutting down and adding to the homeless population? I know. That's the fear. That's the big fear. And we really got to make sure that if anyone gripes or complains, that we put this squarely on the shoulders of the Republicans, because they fucking are in charge, man. Republicans are in charge. Christina Sango says, yes, I am going to make my dinner because I have a live stream at 7. doing my card readings. All right, Christina. Hey, maybe I'll pop in on the chat and say hello to you. I'll say hi between innings, I guess, the Dodger game. But thanks for being here. Thanks for your help. I mean, it is helping, every little bit, and hopefully I'll get the hang of this. You know, I'll keep practicing, and maybe by the time I go on your show next week, I'll be even a little bit better at it. I might have a green screen behind me, but with no green screen, just an actual green screen. Jim Basin Strugger, TJ did a bird shit on your hat. No, dude, I know. Talk about so funny, I forgot to laugh. Big Cook says national strike in solidarity with government workers and TSA. I know. Maybe the Truckers on big massive general strike should be now instead of January 1st. Mud says, as a Canadian, I hope we open our doors to the American economic social refugees. I think that Canada and Oregon and Washington and California and maybe the New England states, some of them, we should join with Canada. I think we should form a new country. Kick out whatever British influences or whatever royal. I think the Brits still claim Canada, don't they, in some way? Okay, kick those motherfuckers out, and then join up with California and Oregon and Washington, and maybe like Maine or something. And we should form our own new country, the United States of Canada. You're like, fuck you. Mud says, general strike, the sooner the better. Joey says, you guys are hilarious. Maybe talking about Jen and me, maybe? I don't know. Fancy delivery. Christina goes, well, we'll be here and you'll see a lot of your friends there. Oh, definitely. So it's 7. What time zone are you in? By the way, are you in? Well, tell me what's your time zone so I can figure out when you're on and stuff. Mud says, I'd love that. Mud said, Vermont and Massachusetts, New York. Yeah. So it would be like Canada, and then it would go down on the coasts. It would be like Canada having one of those big droopy mustaches. Kind of. Except on the one side, it would be a little bit shorter mustache. The United States of Canada, we rock, we rock. I just made up our new national anthem. The United States of Canada, we rock, we rock. And then the rest of it's just blah, 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 blah. We'll fill in the gaps later. Big Hook says, Commonwealth country status, it's all ceremonial. Good, then we can just ceremoniously tell the English to get the fuck out. We'll keep the French, we'll keep the Frenchies, they're cool. The longer I talk, the greater chance of me sticking my foot in my mouth. Jason Trucker John, TJ, Jim Otto said that to me when I met him and I had on my 49ers hat. His hand swallowed my hand and he said, did a bird shit on your hat? Okay, I feel honored that you said the same thing to me that Jim Otto said to you, I guess. Christina Sungo says, I was saying New York should break off since we're the only true blue state left. Oh, you in New York or East Coast? And form our own government? Just for the state. I've been saying that we should form the blue states of America. And we don't have to be even sharing borders. I mean, this is the 21st century. We can fly in and out, Big Hook says, considering Canada already powers most of the eastern seaboard, there you go. Well, there you go. Josh says, well, hello again. Hello, Josh. We're about ready to go. Hey, look at there. Can you guys see me? There's my dad. You guys see my dad? That's my daddy. Let's see. Does this go the right direction? Did I go the right direction? Look, there's me. Oh, there's my family. There's my son, my daughter-in-law, my daughter, my son-in-law, my waitress, and there's me. But yeah, I was gonna see if Hal is up yet. Nope. What time is it? 3:09.
Insofar as I know, the Ukrainian government is actually working.
It's actually working. Hal should be coming on. We got 26 watching. It's almost like I'm doing a regular show here. Thanks people for dropping in. I do appreciate you. As soon as Hal comes on, I'll end the show, I guess, or whatever. Or this isn't really a show. It's just me trying to figure out StreamYard on my phone. Much as a Frenchie, much appreciated. Well, I said you guys are cool. You guys are cool. Hey, the English are cool too. I just meant like the government. We don't want the royals in here. We don't need no royals. That's all I meant. But you know, I love the Frenchies. I love the English. I love everybody, guys. I love everybody. All right. Mrs. Fox says, "What happened to Meech Lake?" I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Jen at Base is structured on honored as you should be. Jim Otto Hall of Famer. Yes, absolutely. Jim Otto apparently had big hands, and you know what that means. You know what that means, right? Manda's here. Hey, Manda, good to see you. Michael says, cool show. Yeah, this is a laid-back show. Yeah. Maybe I should just do this more often. Just sit in front of my TV or something. I don't know. Josh says, new technology. Mud says, we are kind of cool. Yes. Michael says, probably smart TV. I bought this TV when I moved into the 2 apartments ago, the one I got evicted from, like an idiot. I bought that TV when I moved in there for like $86 at Amazon. It's a Fire Stick TV. So yeah, it's all smart TV. But I bought it for $86. I guess I ordered it at Amazon, but I went and picked it up at Best Buy. Now it's not the biggest TV in the world. You know, I would like to have a bigger TV, I guess, you know. But still, it's fine. It's cool. I get YouTube and I get Netflix and all that shit. Right? A bunch of different streaming things. And I have the NFL package, Sunday package on YouTube, which is really cool. If you like, if you're into football and stuff. Christina says, "Oh, there you go, John. You can just play it from the TV." I can play. Oh, like if I was going to do a clip or something. Is that what you mean? Search for You says, "Go Dodgers." Hey, Search for You. Thanks, a fellow Dodger fan. Jen Ray says, "Yep, Jen Otto's hands means Raymond Chester has an enormous cock." You already know. Fancy says, "Yay, go Dodgers." Hey, that's right, Fancy, Dodger fan. And I think you're a Chargers fan, if I'm not mistaken. And unfortunately, the Chargers lost on Sunday to the Giants. I kind of like the Chargers. Like the Rams are my favorite team, but I've always kind of liked the Chargers. I kind of like them. I've always kind of liked them because there's a lot of teams I just hate. But I've always kind of liked the Chargers. So I like to see them win. And a team that I've always hated is the fucking Raiders. I've always hated the Raiders. But now that I live here in Vegas and the Raiders are here in Vegas, I find myself kind of rooting for them. And they almost beat the Bears. The Bears. And I was really upset that they ended up losing that game. And I can't believe that I'm upset about the Raiders losing the game because I've never given a fuck about the Raiders. And now all of a sudden I'm like upset that they didn't beat the Bears. Tracy says, yes, correct. I know this is the first loss. Yeah, so they're, I think, 3-1, I think. Michael says it happens. Bethany says, good evening. Hey, Bethany, good evening. So let's see, is Hal on yet? He's not on. If he was on, he would be on right here. Damn, that scared me. That's a stream from earlier today. So I guess Hal's just being he's being like Trucker John. He kind of copies me a lot. You know how I'm late to start, and Hal, he copies me. Lynn says with Pete as their head coach, the Raiders could be likable. Lynn, are you a Seahawks fan? Where are you from, Lynn? Is that why you like Pete? Because he's from the Seahawks? But I think, turning a team around could be really hard. But they played really, really well against the Bears, and the Bears were coming off a really big win up from the Cowboys. So that was an upset in the making. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that I don't really look at the line on these games, but I would imagine that the Bears were favored, even though they were the visiting team. But I was really hoping the Raiders would win. But they do seem to be playing pretty well, and it's early in the season. Maybe they'll win some games. I really can't wait until the Rams play here, so I can go see a Rams game. Christina said he had Ojeda on earlier. I wonder if he's not going. No, he said he was going to come on. He normally comes on. He normally does 2 shows on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, a morning show and an afternoon show. And he said he was going to do an afternoon show, I'm pretty sure. Which usually comes on at 3. It is 3:16 right now. Let's see. Still not on. Maybe I'll just take the slot. Although I really want to turn this, I kind of want to turn this off and go watch some baseball. Let's see. In order to get the baseball on, I got to go get the other remote control and put it on regular cable to watch baseball. Does anybody else know why Hal's not on it? He's supposed to come on at 3, right? Let's see. Michael, I'm getting tired of it. Oh, so Christina, so you said 7 o'clock. Was that 7 o'clock Eastern? Wait. Are you coming? So are you going on in about 45 minutes? Or is it? When are you coming on, Christina? When are you going on tonight? Christina says, I usually miss this one because I do my live stream Wednesdays and Thursdays. So I think you're probably coming on in about 43 minutes, right? Jenna-based Trucker John, enjoy the game, TJ. Well, the Dodger game doesn't come on for another like 3 hours. But I had fun yesterday. I watched every game. I watched every baseball game yesterday. And today I didn't watch any. He says he's on now. Someone said he's on now. Why am I not seeing it on here? It seems like it should come on. Maybe it didn't pop in there. Let me just go. Let me refresh. Oh, there he is. You were right. Started 1 minute ago. Okay. Look at me giving him a thumbs up. There's already 282 motherfuckers in there watching. Why don't those 252 motherfuckers come and watch the old Trucker John show? Maybe because they don't like being called motherfuckers. I don't know. All right, guys. I guess we'll go ahead and end this. Thanks for popping in. I think I'm just gonna, I'll continue trying to figure it out. I think the best way is just to jump in and do it, and then, but I'm still gonna do the main show. I'll still use the Prism app because I'm familiar with that and everything. But maybe I'll do these impromptus, and it's kind of cool to just hang out with you guys. And then if Christina comes on and you kind of help me and stuff. Guide me through it. Christina says yes, 7 p.m. Eastern. So Christina is going to be on in about 41 minutes or so. And then we've got Hal. And then later on tonight, we've got Major Ojeda comes on tonight, I believe, at 5:30. Now, for 6 o'clock, I go to the Liberal Dan show. There's another show that you guys like, and I like too, and I like the guy. But sometimes it's like a Sophie's Choice, and I choose Liberal Dan, okay? So at 6 o'clock tonight, I'll be watching the Dodger game, but probably on my phone, I'm going to have Liberal Dan on as I'm watching the game. Because I probably not going to go to work. I'm probably going to watch the game. And so, yeah, that's the rundown for tonight. We got Hal, and you got Christina, and Ghost Sun Squad. You guys have multiple devices, utilize them. Support these shows. Support all of our friends if we can. Bethany said the dreaded word. No. Yeah, there's Boston Brian. Boston Brian is coming on, and Liberal Dan. We have multiple devices. A lot of times I'll have them both on one device and have one on the other, so. But try to give everyone a little love, a little a like and a thumbs up, and at least a watch for a couple minutes if you can. Would be great. There's the link Jolie's got in there for Liberal Dan. There you go. Liberal Dan comes on at 6 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. Rosanna says, raid Christina's son, Ghost Squad, in about 39 minutes. All right, guys. Hal is on. Thanks, guys, for watching. I'm going to go ahead and end it. I'll talk to you guys next time. I'll be on my regular show tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. All right. Bye-bye, guys. Thanks for being here.